What up, it's your girl Catalina Perez, and you are tuned into the OTS Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the OTS Project. We are here with episode 17. Theo, what's going on, my boy?
17. I don't know how to do that with
1738.
Dude, I was just asking one of my coworkers where Fetty Wap went, and I was like, "Where did he go?" And I looked up and I'm like, "Oh, he's in prison." Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I know.
Makes sense. Adds up.
I mean, it was big for like one whole summer.
Yep. It was.
You and I pretty much, I think, have been in the same spot of just trying to recover from the flu.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching. They have just recently been putting out new episodes for My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which I've very much been enjoying so far. I'm very excited to see where they go with that. Seems like it's going to be a bit of a different kind of speed to the original show, but I'm liking it a lot so far. I think it's pretty dope.
No, it's fire. It's fire. Yeah. For those that don't know, I posted it on the Twitter or whatever. We both have got, well, not so much anymore, but we both had the flu. I'm dubbing it the Wrestlemania flu because that's where it all started. Theo was here for WrestleMania. Our friend Wyatt was also here for WrestleMania. He did not get sick, so good on him. But yeah, me and Theo ended up coming out of WrestleMania with the flu. I felt it a little bit on Sunday. I know I said like I felt like shit the whole day, and then after that we both kind of were just fucked up for a couple days. So that's why we missed last week. We took last Saturday to kind of just rest and whatnot. So forewarning for anyone watching this is probably going to be a pretty long episode. We have our WrestleMania review for both nights, which in itself will be pretty long, but we also have about 2 weeks worth of news now that we have to kind of catch up on and whatnot. But yeah, as for me, just been hanging out. I've done a few things. I obviously today the new Fortnite Star Wars season has dropped, so I've been kind of waiting for my bot lobby to update is what I've really been doing. But I've kind of been going through and looking at the battle pass and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. Interestingly enough, I re-downloaded Saints Row the Third. I saw a few clips on my TikTok. Everybody knows Saints Row 2 is my favorite game of all time. But I also really enjoy Saints Row 3. Saints Row 4 is really the only one that's kind of and the reboot was also horrible. So yeah, I just saw some clips on my TikTok and was like, you know what? Let me read down Saints Row the Third. I haven't played that in a while, so I haven't touched it yet. But it's on the PlayStation. It's on the agenda. Been getting back into Call of Duty a little bit. I was playing it, and they added Seth Rogen into the game, which I thought was incredible. And I realized I only needed like a couple hundred VC or whatever to get his little battle pass, so I got that. So now I have Seth Rogen in COD, which is incredible.
There you go.
Yeah, I have been trying to get back into Demon Slayer a little bit. I keep falling off. But I also did start watching Arcane. I don't know if you know about that show or not.
I think so, yeah.
It's like
Sounds familiar.
It's an animated show. It's not like an anime. It's just like an animated show, but it's in the world of League of Legends, which I really know nothing about.
Right.
But I've just heard like tons and tons and tons of really good stuff about this show. I've only seen like 2 episodes so far, but I've enjoyed it for what it is. Haley Steinfeld voices the main character, so I'm kind of there for that. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Just kind of small stuff. Just been adding in and playing a few different things. And yeah, trying to get over this flu. We did both yesterday see the Thunderbolts. So we are not going to necessarily talk about it in this episode. We're actually going to immediately after this episode, we're going to film a bonus episode to kind of make up for the fact that we kind of skipped last week, as well as to try and in a way kind of get it out of the way because we don't want to wait a whole week to review it. So we're going to drop a bonus episode that's going to basically literally just be our whole review on the Thunderbolts. Oh yeah, and another thing I did that unfortunately Theo did not get to do, or at least I don't think you got to do. I went and saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters.
Not.
we had plans obviously for last like Friday to go watch it, but we were both really messed up. So come Sunday, I started feeling a little bit better. So me and my mom went and saw it. So I thought about it too. I was like, I'm glad I got to see it because obviously it's my favorite movie, and whatnot. And I'm glad I got to see it with my mom because me and my mom have a great connection with Star Wars and stuff. But it wasn't the same seeing it without you, bro. Like, we would have been sitting there making like the jokes and stuff, and I was just kind of sitting there watching it quietly. So it wasn't the same. So I'm very bummed out that you didn't get to go see it with me.
Yeah.
But we might be making it up a little bit because this Saturday or tomorrow we're supposed to be showing your sister Star Wars for the first time, which that should be pretty fun. So,
right.
So yeah, I think that's kind of all the what we've been doing. So news wise, obviously last week or whatever it was, we had Star Wars Celebration going on at the same time as Wrestlemania. So we didn't get to talk about this news. So news coming out of Star Wars Celebration, there wasn't a ton. There wasn't anything super groundbreaking. But there is some cool news. We are getting a animated show about Darth Maul called Maul Shadow Lord, which I know Maul is your favorite character. He's one of my favorite characters, so super excited about that. I believe it takes place like a year after the Clone Wars or something like that, so it's definitely gonna kind of bridge the gap between what he was doing in between Clone Wars and seeing him as an old man in Rebels. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're getting a movie called Star Wars Starfighter releasing May 28th, 2027. This is probably the biggest news that came out of the weekend. Directed by Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine, but starring our boy Ryan Gosling. That was really cool. It was rumored for at least a year that he was attached to some Star Wars project, but it wasn't confirmed. And then we saw him walk out on stage and announce that he's officially part of Star Wars Starfighter. So I'm super excited about that. We both love Ryan Gosling, both love Star Wars, so excited to see where that's gonna go. The rumor is that it's supposed to be a story about like a kid and his uncle going on like an adventure or something like that. I don't know the full thing. It's just like a rumor I saw that's supposed to be about like some kid and his uncle. So I'm assuming Ryan Gosling is playing the uncle with some kid, and they're going on like this crazy Star Wars adventure. I know it takes place after the sequels, so
yeah, it's like 5-6 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Right. So I definitely could see. Pardon Theo there. We both still kind of dealing with the cough a little bit.
Yeah.
I could definitely see some sequel trilogy characters popping up here for some little cameos. Maybe if it's about starfighters and flying, maybe Poe Dameron makes an appearance or something like that. That'd be really cool. Probably not, because I'm pretty sure Oscar Isaac just hates Star Wars now, but it would be cool. Mandalorian and Grogu coming out May 22nd, 2026. This is kind of like the what's next for Star Wars after Andor, I believe. Like, we kind of, unless I'm mistaken, I feel like this is the next Star Wars project that comes out after Andor, and it's the first movie that we're getting since, obviously, Rise of Skywalker. They showed a trailer to the people at Celebration, but did not release it online. I will not mention if we have seen the trailer or not. Not trying to get us in trouble.
We have allegedly not seen the trailer.
Yeah. But there is a description of what the trailer entailed, and we definitely thoroughly read the description for sure on what the trailer entails. But
every little detail about this description, we read through it.
Yep, with our eyes, and our eyes were definitely impressed with what we read. It sounds like a great movie. So I'm super excited to see what they got cooking. I'm intrigued to see who kind of the villain is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really know who the villain is. I know there's still the plans for the Mandalorian movie, but it's really just like a Mandalorian universe movie that is going to be like their Avengers Endgame, that they're fighting Thrawn. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see, maybe is Thrawn involved in this movie somehow, or is it, I feel like probably not. It's probably more of a smaller villain, maybe some pirates or something like that.
I feel like it's probably still got to be Moff Gideon, right? I feel
he's
like
dead.
He's still running around out there.
No,
he's dead?
He blew up, man. I mean, he could still be alive, but I'm pretty sure he got like engulfed in flames in the last season. It was very.
I gotta rewatch season 3 then.
Very.
So I remember that happening.
Yeah, it was, well, the whole season itself was kind of mid. It was very. To me, it was a very forgettable kind of exit for a great character.
Right.
And he definitely should have stayed alive. And if they planned on killing him off, they should have killed him off in this movie. You know, he definitely should have been the main villain of the movie. And who knows? Maybe he somehow survived the explosion, and he will come back. That you know, but yeah, I'm just intrigued in general to see what they're gonna do, because we don't know much about this movie at all. All we really know is Sigourney Weaver is in it, and Jeremy Allen White is playing Rod of the Hutt. That's about all we know about this movie. And there was a clip or a photo of him that, again, we may have or may not have seen of Jeremy Allen White as Rod of the Hutt. I mean, it's only like his back or whatever, I believe, so you don't really see. I just want to see.
Allegedly,
right,
it's only his back. Allegedly.
I just want to see his face. I think that's what everybody wants to see. Like, we want to see what Jeremy Allen White's face. Like, are they?
I truly do hope. It'd be so stupid, but I truly do hope it's literally just his face one
right.
to one.
I'm like, are they gonna just make their own version, or are they gonna kind of tie his face into a Hutt body? I think that would be pretty funny. But yeah, May 22nd.
Like a Cat in the Hat situation with like Mike Myers.
Yeah,
where it's just his
right.
face on the body.
Right. So yeah, Mando and Grogu movie May 22nd, 2026, I believe. After Andor, that is the next big Star Wars project. They have officially confirmed that Anakin Skywalker is coming back for Ahsoka season 2. Super excited about that. Obviously, that's my guy. So I'd imagine more flashbacks, more Force, probably more Force Ghost Anakin. But I really hope they kind of include more flashbacks, because I think for a lot of people, I think Ahsoka, probably one of the highlights of season 1 was that flashback sequence where they go through the different periods of the Clone Wars with Ariana Greenblatt as young Ahsoka and Hayden as Anakin. That was definitely one of the highlights for a lot of people. So I would imagine Dave is gonna be cooking, and we're gonna get some more kind of Clone Wars flashbacks. Maybe they find a way to bring Ewan in to also be part of that. That'd be really cool to be.
I thought you would say me specifically. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, you. No, Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan. I think that'd be really cool if we can get him in the Clone Wars armor and he's in a flashback or two. I think that'd be really, really cool. So yeah, that's kind of all the really big news that's coming out of Celebration. There was the announcement of that game, but again, like, it's not really something we're too interested in, so I don't think we're going to cover it that much. Is there any other stuff that I might be missing that you could think of?
No, I feel like that's got to be it. I mean,
right.
Even the stuff that we did get, I'm pretty excited for. I wish the Maul show was live action.
Same.
I feel like we haven't seen live action Maul in forever, and I feel like they could do a lot of cool shit with that. But I get why it is animated, like, it makes sense.
But also, most of his when you think about it, almost all of his Star Wars tenure has been in animation, so it is pretty fitting. You know what I'm saying? We got him for one movie and a cameo in another movie, so like it is kind of more fitting that he would still be in animation. But I also agree with you. I would love to see like Ray Park kind of come back and be Maul in a show or a movie, and not just a quick cameo. It would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Can you imagine the hallway scene live action with Maul, bro?
That'd be fire.
That shit would be tight as fuck, bro.
That would be fire. Another thing I do want to add, though, quickly for Star Wars, tomorrow is the dropping of I don't know if it's tomorrow or if it's Sunday or whatever, but the Tales of the Underworld is coming out.
I think it's Sunday because
I think it's the 4th. But I do know anyone that's watching this really quickly, and it's also for you because I'm not sure. I feel like I sent it to you, but you may not remember. In Fortnite right now, they are showing 2 episodes in full of that show. So I'm definitely going to check that out. So maybe we can hop on real quick after or something like that. We can check it out together. But so hop on Fortnite. There is some sort of Star Wars creative island or something like that is showing the first 2 episodes of Tales of the Underworld before May the 4th. So definitely go check that out. My last little bit of news here, and we might be missing stuff because, again, we were kind of sick the whole week. So I wasn't paying full attention to what's going on with everything. But something I saw this morning, that is very disappointing, but understandable. GTA 6 has officially been delayed to May 26th, 2026. I mean, there's not much to say about that. It's sad, it's depressing, but I've said it before. I learned my lesson with Cyberpunk. If they need time, just let them have the time. If they need more time to finish it up, then definitely give them the time. I think what I'm most upset about is that we've waited this long. It's been almost like 2 years at this point since that first trailer dropped. We've waited this long, haven't gotten any screenshots, any trailers, anything other than that one. So I think what I'm most frustrated about is that they've officially delayed the game, but they still did. Like, if you were going to delay the game today, they should have dropped something to go, hey, sorry we have to delay the game, but here's another trailer to still, to say sorry that we have to delay the game. Here's a trailer. Here's some screenshots. Here's a newswire about more info about the characters or the story or the feature. Like, the fact that we've waited this long and we haven't gotten anything, and now they've officially delayed it and they still haven't dropped anything I think is what's frustrating me more than it actually being delayed.
This really did not come to a surprise to me at all, especially since it's been 2 years since that first trailer dropped and we haven't gotten anything. I can understand why you're upset, but I'm again, I think this is pretty run of the mill for a lot of game companies to just kind of drop that that block of text and dip
Right.
for another year. So I'm not really surprised. Again, if it comes out being the greatest game of the year, then I'm not gonna complain about it either way, because I mean it's still gonna be incredible regardless. Right. I know a lot of game companies right now are probably taking a breath, knowing that they are actually able to be in contendership for Game of the Year this year again.
Right.
But yeah, I mean I get it. It's gonna be like the biggest video game of all time.
Right.
I don't mind waiting.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm not fully mad that it got delayed. I understand it, and I'd rather them have the time. I just would have liked y'all could have dropped 5 fucking screenshots. You know what I'm saying? Just something. We've waited too long to then get a delay to still not get a single ounce of anything. So that's what I'm more frustrated about. But I do agree with you. I wasn't too surprised when I kind of woke up and looked at Instagram, and that was the first post I saw. It wasn't me going, holy shit, da, da, da. It was more me going, fuck. All right. So yeah, I'm not super surprised that I feel like a lot of people saw it coming.
that was really the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning.
Yeah. Same.
And I was reading it through, and I saw that it was 2026, and I was like, wait, I was still tired. I was like, wait a minute, I thought the game was coming out this year. Is it 2026 already?
Yeah, I had to. It was the first thing I saw. I had to kind of do this and then look at it again, exactly, and then do this again and be like, "What? Holy shit! Am I looking at this?"
And I'm like, "No, wait a minute! It's 2025. What's going on?"
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't too surprised, but definitely disappointed. But again, I understand. I was more just disappointed that they didn't give us a single ounce of any kind of content to hold us over. I guess. It is interesting that it did win an award or whatever. Remember, it won an award for most hyped game of the year, or something like that.
Yeah.
Y'all got to revoke that reward now.
Video game awards.
Y'all got to revoke that now. But
they purposefully did that just to win that award, and then be like, "Nah,
right,
we're good.
Right,
we just wanted that one."
Oh man, so that's kind of all the news. Again, we may miss some things. We may have skipped over some things, but again, we were kind of sick the past week, so I was not fully paying attention to everything. So that's kind of all the news I have. If there is any news that maybe we missed or something that has to do with wrestling, Star Wars, Marvel, anything like that, throw it in the comments. I know there was a Clash at the Castle or something. I don't know, Crown Jewel is going to be in France, I believe, or something like that this year, or Australia, Perth, Australia. They announced that this morning or something like that. So things like that, throw it in the comments. I do want to do a quick new little thing that I kind of want to do every week. Music.
New segment.
Yep, we got a new segment. Music is an important part of me and Theo's life. I feel like it's an important part of most people's lives. So I kind of want to do a new segment each week after our news and discussion where we quickly kind of just talk about a song of the week. We both pick a song and we both kind of just put it over real quick. So Theo, what you got for your first song of the week?
I feel like I had to pick a pretty special song for the first ever song of the week. It's not particularly something that I've been rocking a lot with this week, but I mean I'm just always rocking along to it. It is going to be "Take the A Train" by Duke Ellington. Okay. I'm a big jazz guy. That's kind of my passion. That's kind of what I'm going for and everything. And this is kind of the first song that I ever truly fell in love with in the whole jazz genre. Back in Grand Theft Auto 4 when I was 8 years old. Shouldn't be playing GTA 4, but I still was. I would always just be driving around in cars and just listening to the jazz station that they had, and this was my favorite song back on that station. And so it's pretty important to me. It's what helped me get into jazz and everything like that, and I'm still into jazz and all that. So it's my first song of the week, and I think it's a pretty worthy one.
I have not heard it, so I'll have to check it. I'm not a big like jazz guy, and I don't dislike jazz. I just don't really listen to it. So I'm not sure I've ever heard it, so I'll have to listen to it. Mine is gonna be completely different. I'm gonna pick.
It's gonna be Fiend, isn't it?
No, I never want to hear that song ever again, honestly. And it's annoying too because I've seen other people say that, and I'm like, you guys do realize they're gonna blast the highlight video for like 6 months, and we're gonna still be hearing Fiend for like the next 6 months. Yeah, no, my first one is gonna come from. I have not seen the movie, but that movie Sinners that came out with Michael B. Jordan. Haley Steinfeld released a song called "Dangerous" for it, and I believe it's her first song in like 2 years or something like that. That's gonna be my highlight. I checked it out just because who doesn't like Haley Steinfeld? So I just kind of listened to it. Song's a banger, man. It's not like a upbeat, poppy, fun, cute song. It's like kind of almost depressing in a way, but it's like I don't know, just the vibe of it is kind of badass and definitely different than what Haley Steinfeld like normally kind of puts out. So yeah, "Dangerous" by Haley Steinfeld. It's attached to the movie Sinners. That's my first one. I've been blasting that shit like crazy.
Hell yeah. I'll have to take a listen to it.
Hell yeah. All right, so there's our songs of the week, our first ever songs of the week. So now it's time to hop into our WrestleMania review. We're not going over Stand and Deliver. This is just going to be night 1, night 2 of WrestleMania. I got
We're not
notes.
going over Stand and Deliver because we know it was better than WrestleMania.
This is true. He's not even joking when he says that.
We're not
honestly.
playing. It was so fucking good.
Yeah, I got a lot of notes here, so we're just gonna start off WrestleMania.
I got notes on like every match.
Yeah, WrestleMania night 1, Gunther versus Jey Uso opened the show. My notes, very predictable finish. We all knew what was gonna happen. Was not super entertained by this match. I was not a fan of the finish. I do not think that Gunther should have tapped out. I thought that was a little ridiculous. I felt like we talked about it a little bit. I felt like Jay hitting the four splashes should have been the finish. Having Gunther kind of tap out is what makes Gunther weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew that Gunther had to lose, but there's a way that Gunther could lose without looking like a bitch and making the submission guy tap out to like his own move. It was not the way. So did not like the finish. So kind of the only redeeming thing for me with this match was the end, the celebration and having Jimmy out there with him. I thought was really nice. I'm not one of those people that goes that Jay shouldn't be champion or anything like that. I like Jey Uso. He's not like my favorite guy, but I do like him and I do think it's deserved. He's been there for years. He's put on quality matches. During the pandemic, he was like a very big key. The storyline with him and Roman was almost literally like Oscar worthy with Jay's acting alone. So I definitely think he deserves it. I just think that the match itself was kind of whatever. So yeah, the highlight of the match for me was really the celebration at the end with Jimmy coming out and then jumping into the crowd.
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a whatever match. Definitely not the worst match of the night, but definitely not the best either. I feel like I have this odd take in where I like the idea of Jay being able to tap out Gunther. I just think the fact that it happened in like 1 second was weird as hell. I feel like if they could have had that go on for like 30 seconds or a minute and really like push to the fact of just how much Gunther is like struggling to get out of it and how much power Jay has actually like been able to achieve and all that stuff, I feel like they could have made that work. But how they executed it was very, very terrible. I definitely agree with you. It was definitely not how they should have ended that match. At least with the 4 splashes, it would have made a little more sense. But I feel like even with the tap out method, it did not work very well at all.
Yeah.
Especially with just how quick it was. The Jimmy and Jay moment was very beautiful. I do have to agree with you there as well. That was also a very touching moment for sure. I like Jey Uso as champion. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, he's been fucking red hot for like the past year or two now, more than ever, I'd say. Like, as someone who has been in the crowds and been doing the Yeet chant along with like thousands of other people, like I absolutely get it. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it was just okay.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team Championships. I I feel like this is just gonna be us ragging on WrestleMania. I'm not gonna lie, but it warrants. What we saw is what we say. So, yeah, boring ass match. I lost interest almost immediately. Seemed like a piss break match, but it wasn't put where a piss break match should be. It was the second match on the show, and this match should have been in it. It should have been replaced with the TLC match, but also in a different position on the card. There should have been maybe a match or two after. Like, it should have went Gunther and Jay, then a match or two, and then the TLC match. And this should have been on like the Raw after WrestleMania. Which is sad. I love the New Day, especially Kofi Kingston. He's one of my favorites. But this heel turn has just kind of fallen flat ever since the Big E stuff. But I think part of that is because you had them turn heel, and people, whether Triple H likes it or not, you have them turn heel, with Big E. People are going to expect a payoff with Big E, and there hasn't been anything, so I think, most people are just kind of like, well, it's whatever. Like, it's not, the heel turn is kind of fallen flat. War Raiders, I feel like, are probably like one of the only credible tag teams on Raw, but I also don't care about them at all.
Right.
So yeah, this is another case of just like it is what it is. It's whatever. It was kind of boring, kind of mid. As I spray a spider.
Perfectly. Not too long after the event, with some of these other matches kind of falling into that similar category of, this is not at all a WrestleMania match.
Right.
This honestly is like a Raw mid-card match.
Mm.
And honestly, when I'm gonna probably be talking more about the fucking SmackDown TLC match more than this match, because that was legitimately like a 5-star match on SmackDown, and those boys went out there and proved that they absolutely deserved that WrestleMania spot far more than the New Day and the War Raiders did, for sure.
Mm.
In terms of like interest alone, but just as well as the quality of the match. I mean, I like the New Day coming out on top and winning the tag team championships, but at the same time, it's like I still don't really care. Again, the payoff with the whole Biggie thing is non-existent. Their whole heel turn is just kind of dragged along and has not gained any traction of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
It was another match on the card.
Yeah.
Not much to say about it.
Right. I think part of the issue maybe with their heel turn too is that not too much has changed. Like, I feel like they should have done like a full 180, and instead they just kind of took what the New Day is and just made it like dark. Like, their gear and their Trons is still unicorns. It's just, well, now they're like cyber unicorns, and right. I'm like, it just looks stupid to me. Like, it, you know what I'm saying? And
the only thing that's changed is Kofi lost his mustache. That's
right.
That's it.
Yeah, Kofi doesn't look great with that look. But yeah, like their music, it's still the same like song. It's just slowed down and revert. It's like everything about it just kind of sucks. And again, I love the New Day. I love Kofi. Kofi's one of my guys. But this heel turn, it started off great. The actual segment was great. The whole stuff afterwards where they were getting kicked out of the locker room and stuff was great. And then it came time to like show the presentation of their heel turn, and it was like, and they're bad guys, but they still like unicorns, but now they look like robots. And I'm like, it just seems stupid, and I'm not really with it. So I would have liked like a real 180, a real kind of John Cena situation where, you know, at WrestleMania he came out and his Trons were literally just the words John Cena, like something like that.
Right.
But yeah, definitely should have been replaced with the TLC match for sure. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I only got 2 notes on this. My notes are Naomi is goated, and I love the presentation and new music for her as a heel, which is a difference than the New Day stuff. I actually really enjoyed what they've done with her. And my second note here is Jade Cargill is not a good wrestler.
I have pretty much the exact same notes. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
How they've done Naomi's heel turn, how they present her, I feel like she is more interesting now than honestly I feel like I've ever been with Naomi. And I've always liked Naomi. I've never really like hated Naomi or anything like that. But now I'm like really engaged with like the storytelling that she's got going on and everything like that.
Yeah.
She absolutely should have won this match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think Jade Cargill gets anything from winning this match, but having Naomi win would have been far better for her, like storyline wise. I feel like they definitely could have like dragged that on a little more. But with Jade winning, it's just another like meh thing, and she is just kind of again like a meh wrestler in general. I feel like.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to shit on the girl or anything. It's just like anytime I've seen her, I was really into stuff with Bianca, but I think it was more so because Bianca is like one of my favorites, rather than me really enjoying Jade. I just liked what they were doing. But when it's like that thing that they say, at some point the bell has to ring, and when you've got Jade in a tag team with Bianca, you can kind of hide the flaws because you have Bianca there to pick up the pieces. But now that Jade's kind of on her own, at some point the bell has to ring, and I just don't think Jade is that good on her own. Felt like Naomi was definitely carrying her. I mean, there was literally one point where she, right before the finish, she hit something and went for a pin, and you could see Naomi being like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're not supposed to be going for a pin. Go for my finish, like your finish." So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. At least Naomi still, is in a prime spot and looks great.
Yeah.
We have Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. I'm gonna spray this spider again. That's getting close to me, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and start.
Okay. I wrote down that it's a 6-star instant classic.
Mm-hmm.
I called it. I was very happy that I did call it with El Grande Americano's entrance. First off, that voiceover video package was fucking hilarious, and I think they did a really good job with his entrance of the whole fucking 20-man mariachi band. I definitely called that happening, and I'm very glad that it did happen because it was fucking hilarious.
I think I got him. Sorry.
You got him?
I think so. It was a big ass spider too. It was kind of scaring me.
But yeah, I think just on both ends, I feel like they both did pretty well in this match. Again, I don't think it was like it wasn't like legitimately like an amazing match or anything like that. Like I'm not going back and rewatching it anytime soon. But like I think how they both were presented, at least, I thought was very hype. I think they did a very good job setting up the match, especially with what little time they had to set that match up.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. That's all I can really say. The fucking, what was it that Chad Gable did? Chad Gable, I swear to God, every WrestleMania he does just one thing.
He wasn't in the match.
Like, oh yeah, you're right. He wasn't in the match. My mistake. El Grande Americano.
There you go.
For his first ever WrestleMania match, he had a very great performance, akin almost to how Chad Gable has great WrestleMania performances.
Mm-hmm.
He did what the fuck was it?
It was
like an inverted,
shit.
Like,
I know what you're
some
saying.
Shit.
Yeah, I forgot exactly what it was, but it's some crazy shit.
I remember seeing that shit. I was like, that shit was fucking awesome.
It was like an inverted moonsault or some crazy ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Move. Yeah,
that shit was awesome. But yeah, I liked this match. I thought it was probably the best match we had seen up to this point.
Mm.
Unless, oh no, wait, was Jacob and LA Knight before that?
It's after.
That might be better.
It's after.
It's after that. Okay, then this was definitely the best match that I think we've seen up to this point on night one.
Yeah, my notes are, it felt very thrown together, but for good reason because of the situation. Yeah, they always, like when I say it felt thrown together, it felt like they already had, which they definitely did. They already had the match put together with Rey, Mysterio, and they just kind of had to piece Phoenix in where Rey was supposed to be. So I think for that reason, it was actually a really good match because, like, Rey Fenix came in with short notice and had to not even, necessarily be creative and stuff. Obviously, he got his spots in and whatnot, but he didn't really get to clearly like put the match together. It was really just a paint by numbers. Like, here's what Mysterio was supposed to do, so just do what he was supposed to do, and then where his moves were, put your moves. But in general, I thought the match was good. El Grande's entrance was wild. That shit was crazy with the whole mariachi band. And my only other note here is that I'm just really happy for Rey Fenix. It was obviously a very kind of, it was a sad situation that, what happened with Mysterio and whatnot. But the fact that Rey Fenix has been in WWE for, like, at that point, like a week or two. And got to be in a WrestleMania match, which, for someone, I'm trying to think, like, for someone that, like, you can't say, like Ronda Rousey's first match was at WrestleMania, so I can't say this, but for someone that technically was in WWE that had already wrestled in WWE, he may be the shortest tenured person to get a WrestleMania match that wasn't a debut. Because it was like a week or two, and then he was on the WrestleMania card, so that's pretty crazy. So I'm happy for him, and I know Penta was happy for him. I saw a clip of Penta kind of in the crowd watching his brother's entrance and stuff, so that was really cool. Next up, the U.S. title match was Jacob Fatu against LA Knight. My quick notes here were, maybe I need to rewatch this match, but I also was not very interested by this match. I wasn't super entertained by this match. But I think, and this is another part of my note, is LA Knight's entrance was really cool with the car. But I think in general, and maybe this is why I wasn't super entertained by this match, I just don't think LA Knight is for me. I don't think I am an LA Knight guy. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the positions he's in. I just think, me personally, I just feel like he's very like cookie cutter, very paint by numbers. Like, there was a while ago where Kevin Nash said something about his promos being a ripoff of The Rock, and everyone kind of freaked out. And I also get it, because it is true. Like, you kind of base your stuff off of what you grew up watching, but it seems it is pretty prominent that like his promos are kind of just a copy of The Rock and Stone Cold, and like his in-ring work, I'm just not super impressed by or super enjoy it. Like, I don't enjoy it that much, so I don't want to harp on it. And again, I don't want to be super negative, but I just think like LA Knight, I don't think is necessarily like, I'm not an LA Knight guy, I don't think, and so I think me not being entertained by this match is probably because LA Knight was in it. But I am happy that Jacob Fatu won. I am a Jacob Fatu guy. He's one of my favorites. So I am happy that he won the U.S. title at WrestleMania. That was a really cool moment. My other note, though, this is like a mental note, is that you really kind of have to feel for Solo Sikoa, because as I think about this, Solo Sikoa was supposed to be the standout of not the bloodline, but like when the bloodline was coming to an end, Solo Sikoa was clearly being built to be the guy that, was going to be the next top Samoan. And, he had so much aura in the bloodline when he didn't speak, and he was just like the killer. And I feel like a mix between him kind of having like goofy moments, but also with Jacob Fatu kind of showing up, I feel like Jacob Fatu just basically stole Solo's spot. So I kind of feel bad for Solo Sikoa, because, whether you like Solo or not, he definitely has busted his ass the past year, and he did not, his WrestleMania moment was standing on the stage for 30 seconds. So I do feel bad for Solo, because he definitely probably should have got something, and I feel like Jacob Fatu kind of came in and stole his aura, I guess you could say. So I do want to say that I gotta feel bad for Solo.
Yeah, definitely stole his spotlight for sure. Even how I feel like they were setting him up, I think probably could have been done better. I think that's really where Jacob Fatu was so easy to shine, is because a lot of people weren't exactly fucking with how they were setting up Solo Sikoa. Not to detriment him or anything like that, because he definitely did bust his ass, and I definitely think he should have gotten something a little more for WrestleMania 41. But I mean, I'm a big Jacob Fatu fan too, so I'm very happy to see that he won, especially after such a little time. Also, kind of in a similar boat, I'm not a big LA Knight fan. I don't really care that much for his wrestling or anything like that, and I feel like the whole fad is kind of dying down a little bit.
I actually forgot that was even like a thing until you just said it.
You can hear it in the crowds too. Like, they're not fucking with it all that much anymore either, I feel like. Like, you'll still hear the Yaz and whatnot, but I don't feel like it's as big or as popular as it was like last year or the year prior.
Right. But I feel like too, just to go back to the Solo thing real quick, they definitely, you were right about like the way he was kind of booked, because for a while he was like the guy, and I mean he literally beat fucking John Cena in a singles match. Like, they were building him up to be the guy, and so he had this thing where Jacob came in and kind of stole his aura, but at the same time Triple H just stopped protecting this guy, and so it's like Jacob was protected, where everything he did, either he won or if he lost, he wasn't the guy that took the pin, or some crazy shit happened that caused him to lose. Where Solo pretty much lost every outing against Cody. He lost against Roman. Like they didn't protect his booking at all. Where he would stand tall at the end of a SmackDown, but then he would go to like the pay-per-view against Cody or against Roman or whoever, and would lose. They lost the War Games match. Literally, he lost against Cody, I think, like twice. They lost the War Games match, and he lost the Netflix thing against Roman as well. So that's also part of the issue, is that you had a guy come in and kind of steal his aura, but then Triple H was also like, I don't know, just disinterested in booking him, I guess, and whatnot. So yeah, I feel bad for Solo because he's a good wrestler. He's a good performer. I will say there's definitely are times where he's kind of been a little goofy or whatever, but in general, I think he's a good worker, and so I do kind of feel bad. I think he got the shit end of the stick where, he was probably just trying to be like a good soldier, you know what I'm saying? He just do his job, but at the same time, it kind of buried him because, now, like, he kind of was made a fool for like a year, and now now he's basically like Jacob's manager until they turn
Right.
and they get a match against each other. But guess what? I guarantee you, Jacob Fatu is winning that match. Or if it's a program, maybe Solo wins one match, but he ain't winning the program. You know what I'm saying? So
It'll be like a SmackDown match or something like
right. So yeah, I feel bad for Solo. He definitely deserves a little bit more. But moving on to our semi-main event of night one, the women's championship on the line. Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair. My notes: Tiffany Stratton's entrance was incredible. I loved the official kind of Barbie tie-in. Obviously, WWE has a deal with Mattel. Mattel makes the WWE figures, so it's not too far off that they were going to be able to get an actual kind of sponsorship or tie-in with Barbie. So the fact that they were able to do that, and it wasn't just a Barbie-inspired thing. She was wearing like Barbie boxing trunks and stuff, so that was really cool. So her entrance was awesome. I think I even sent it to like Grace and my mom, and I was like, "Oh, how cool this is," because it just literally was really cool. I take back anything good I ever said about Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea. I don't know why the fuck you did that.
I still do stand to the idea that Charlotte can have a good match if she's in the ring with someone that's better than her. We've seen it. Like, her and Sasha at Hell in a Cell was a good match. Her and Becky at Evolution was a good match. But this whole program has exposed Charlotte seemingly to just being basically what everybody kind of thought she was, and it's kind of like an egomaniac and just not willing to do business unless the business makes her look good at all points. Though, yeah, the whole program kind of felt that way. I saw some people getting on Tiffany Stratton's case. But I'm going to be honest, guys. Tiffany Stratton has been wrestling for like 3 years. She's still very green. And so anything she did that may have gone off script, she was probably just trying to protect herself. Whereas Charlotte has been wrestling for over 10 years and should know better and should know that you don't try and derail somebody in a promo and things like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't put any blame on Tiffany. I think she was trying to just protect herself and was probably pretty confused by what the hell was going on. Whereas the veteran of the situation was the one that was agitating and aggravating and going off script and going into business for herself. And I think the cherry on top of all this that shows, like, anyone that defends Charlotte, I think the cherry on top here that shows that you should not be defending Charlotte is that the fact that they went out, they had a decent match, and then Charlotte sandbagged her on the finish. It's not an accident. Accidents do happen. But the way it was not an accident. Charlotte definitely purposely did not jump for, the fireman's carry. She did not get up there for her. She sandbagged her to try and make Tiffany look bad because clearly Charlotte was not going over. And I don't think Charlotte was too happy about that. So the only thing she could try and do was try and sandbag Tiffany and go into business for herself and make Tiffany look bad. So overall, I'm happy that Tiffany retained. The match was okay. But yeah, this more so, to me, really just exposed what I kind of already suspected about Charlotte Flair, and is that she's not great. Not great in the ring, and she's not great behind the scenes, it seems. Which also, they had that roast of WrestleMania, and I know we're not fans of Nia Jax, in ring, but out of the ring, it seems like Nia Jax is a pretty real person. She seems like she keeps it pretty fucking real. And during the roast of that, she went on for like 5 minutes just shit talking Charlotte Flair about how much of a horrible person she is. So that may also add to that.
I have written down here that Tiffany's entrance was easily the best part of this entire match. I also have written down that fuck, sorry.
Yeah.
Whoever the fuck told Charlotte, who is a blonde-haired white woman, to wear pink against another blonde-haired white woman who wears pink, needs to get fucking fired. There were multiple moments that I think everybody on our couch was like, who the fuck is who?
Yeah.
We can't tell who is actually who in this match. It was such a terrible decision. I have this written down that I thought it was the worst match of the entire weekend. I hated this match. It was genuinely pissing me off the more it went on. And I think if Charlotte had actually won that match, I think I would have fucking thrown something. I would have been so fucking pissed. I hated the whole match. I hated the whole storyline leading up to it. I hated everything about this.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. I was most I wasn't happy when it ended. I was relieved, but still had like residual hatred for it. I was ready to move on after it. I was like, I think too, with how many like mid or sleeper matches we had before that, I was just like getting so mad about just WrestleMania as a whole just not being as good as it should be.
Right.
But this match did not help in that case at all.
No, for sure. And to go back to your matching kind of gear thing, it happened on SmackDown too, where they both came out and they were both different outfits, but they were both wearing black outfits with like, what is it, like the lace kind of see-through, whatever. Like
Yeah.
Tiffany was wearing like a bodysuit like that or something like that, and Charlotte was wearing like pants that were like that, and it was the same exact thing where I was like, why? And this isn't just on Charlotte, this is on Tiffany Stratton too. Why?
Right.
Are you guys opponents? You guys hate each other, but you guys look like you purposely matched outfits to go out to the club. Like, someone's got y'all gotta coordinate.
Like a tag team.
Right. Like, y'all need to coordinate. They already look somewhat similar with the blonde hair. So I'm like, yeah, y'all need to coordinate who's wearing what for segments and stuff like that, because yeah, it just looked like they were a tag team. Like, it didn't look great.
Yeah.
So yeah. Main event though. Main event time of night one. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Off rip, this was match of the night.
Yes.
By far.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a competition. Yeah, my notes, amazing match, amazing storytelling. I'm very happy for CM Punk getting his WrestleMania main event. And I'm very happy for Seth Rollins because he needed that win. And I'm excited for what's to come with him, Paul Heyman, and now Braun Breaker.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a very, very good storyline, possibly even storyline of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did a really good job with the double turn with both Roman and Punk, with Heyman in the center there, and Seth Rollins just kind of coordinating everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Again, very happy for CM Punk finally getting his WrestleMania main event. That fucking video package,
Yes.
which I think you and I have probably watched a collective 50 times at this point.
Yeah, I still go back
Mine.
and watch it.
I swear it's got to be the best video package of all time at this point.
It's really
It's
good.
so fucking incredible. Definitely also match of the night for me as well. I think just from bell to bell, I think it was just very well done. I think everybody in that match did a great job. No complaints. I'm very excited to see where they go with it from here.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. Yeah, I have a couple extras here for night one. Just in general, it felt very in-ring centric, less entertainment. It felt more focused on the actual in-ring work. To me, this was missing some fun and some like excitement. I was talking to, I feel like I talked to you and Wyatt about it, but I also was talking to Aaron Nova about it and stuff. Like, WrestleMania to me is like fun when they have these stupid, silly little segments that are happening, like backstage or even in the ring. Like, even when Shane messed up, it was still a fun segment with him and Miz and Snoop Dogg. Like, WrestleMania needs those kind of segments and those fun breaks in between matches. Again, whether it's in the ring or backstage, it needs like that fun silliness. And both nights were missing that. There was nothing. Night 2, we got Stone Cold, which was fun. But other than that, like there was both nights there was no like fun, exciting thing. And I feel like the main event of night 1 was so good because it had so much drama to it, whereas the rest of the matches on this card had no drama. Like there was no story. Like there obviously was a story for all of these matches going into this, but it didn't feel like high stakes, I guess you could say. And my last
I thought
note,
it was a very lackluster for WrestleMania Night 1.
And my last note about night 1 is celebrities are overkill, man. We're getting to this point where I understand they want the, they want that post. They want to post that. I'm not gonna say Vanessa Hudgens because she's too damn fine, so I'll let her slide. But like they want the post that Shaquille O'Neal is in the crowd that they could blast all over their social media. I get it, but it's getting to the point now where every PLE there's like 15 celebrities that are shown, even non-PLEs. They do it on Raw and SmackDown, where every show you watch there's like 15 celebrities that are shown in the crowd. And then you've got like 3 celebrities that are involved in some sort of segment or backstage thing on the show. It's getting to a point for me. It gets to a point, dude, where I'm just kind of tired of seeing these random people. Because also some of them I don't even know, especially like on Raw, because it's all people that have like Netflix shows and stuff. Half of these people, it's like here's Jalen Sampson from On the Edge, live on Netflix. I'm like, what is this? I've never even heard. Like, what are we wasting 30 seconds showing this person for? Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's my other note there for both nights. Really, is that to me the celebrity stuff is getting overkill, because also you've got celebrities in the ring, whether it's Logan Paul or Bad Bunny. So I just feel like it's becoming like WB shows have just become like a celebrity showcase at this point. Again, I'm not gonna say anything about Vanessa Hudgens because she's way too fine, so she could stay. And she genuinely loves wrestling, so I'm okay with it. Whereas there's definitely some people
can stay because they're consistent with it. They show up multiple times, like they're legitimate fans,
and they legitimately love wrestling, right? Whereas like these other celebrities or the NBA players and stuff, it's like you could tell these guys haven't watched wrestling since they were like 10, and they don't care. They're just there because it's something to do or because they contractually have to be there, whatever. So yeah, if you're a real fan of wrestling like Macaulay Culkin or Vanessa Hudgens, or even like Jelly Roll, I know he legitimately likes wrestling. Like, if you're a legit fan, I'm with it. But when we're getting to the point where we're showing 15 celebrities in the crowd and none of them even know who anyone is outside of like Cody Rhodes, it's getting annoying.
Yeah, I think too what a big problem with it is that like a lot of those celebrities, when they do get shown, they don't really do much of anything. They just kind of sit there and they'll maybe like do a little wave to the camera or anything like that. And it's like this is not exciting at all.
Right.
Like they don't even really care to be here, honestly. Like it's more just kind of like like a contractual obligation at this point, and it just kind of is very apparent when that kind of stuff happens. But like when Macaulay Culkin shows up and he does the little like thing with the hat and whatnot, it's like okay, he gets it, he knows, and he's a big fan.
Or
of that.
Vanessa Hudgens has
popping the night for the reason.
Vanessa Hudgens has a shirt that says "Hot Girls Watch Pro Wrestling." I think we're all on board. We're all on board with it. All right, so night 2, moving into night 2, as we're already an hour into this podcast, so we'll try and make this a little quicker. WrestleMania night 2, we all agree. I think Wyatt included. Think night 2 is definitely better. Opening match, Women's World Championship: Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. This match fucking cooked. This was probably match of the weekend.
Fucking cooked. These women fucking cooked. This may be one of the best women's WrestleMania matches of all time. This shit was so incredible.
Yeah, this was match of the weekend for sure. And my notes say match of the night, probably match of the weekend. I'm happy that Io won. She needed the win, I feel like, more than anybody. Bianca's gear may be my favorite Bianca Belair gear.
Bianca's gear is always so fucking good at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it's always so good.
Well, I'm a big fan of like roses, so her having a whole like robe and on her gear it was like all roses. I was like, this might be my favorite Bianca Belair gear. Her entrance was awesome with like the ladies doing the jump rope, but also more so having her stepdaughter out there with her was a really cool moment. I don't know. I don't know these people, but I would assume like she's probably, even though it's her stepdaughter and stuff, she's been with Montez Ford for a very long time, and so she's probably helped raise this girl as well as her stepson. So it was probably a very emotional moment seeing her stepdaughter, who she probably looks at as like her actual full daughter that she's helped raise and stuff. It was probably a really emotional moment, so that made it really, really cool. And I really loved Rhea's mask. Obviously, it was inspired by the Batman Who Laughs. So yeah, that was really cool. So those are my notes. Definitely match of the whole weekend.
Yeah, match of the weekend for sure. One of the best women's matches of all time. Incredible showing from all of them. I think similarly to the previous triple threat, they all just really like went up, showed out there, and just did an incredible job. Io winning, I'm never gonna complain when Io Sky wins a match. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Definitely deserved, and I think it definitely sets her up to have an incredible title run. Having her retain against both of them in a triple threat at WrestleMania, in the way that she did it too, I think was a very great way to end the match. I think it was a very good finish. I do still kind of wish we got to see a little more of like a Bianca heel turn, because I do still think it's warranted. But again, I'm not going to complain. This match was incredible. I think they did an incredible job with it.
Yeah.
No notes. Incredible. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was great. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. What was it? It was like a Las Vegas street fight or something like that.
Yeah, it was a street fight thing.
Yeah. I love Drew McIntyre, but in general, this match, it felt like a Raw main event kind of like street fight. It didn't feel like anything too crazy. Again, I feel like maybe I missed something or whatever, but I feel like when you do something like this, when you have a WrestleMania street fight, you have to do something like didn't like when Miz and Shane or whatever had like their street fight or whatever at I don't even know if it was, but I feel like it was some sort of stipulation match, and like they literally went onto like a scaffolding in the crowd and did like a spear off of it. Like I feel like when you do something like this, you have a WrestleMania street fight or Extreme Rules or Falls Count Anywhere or whatever. I feel like you need something that warrants a WrestleMania moment. You need a really big extreme moment. I feel like this match was kind of missing that.
The WrestleMania moment of this match was Drew McIntyre tweeting. That was the moment of the match.
Yeah, so I just feel like it was missing that, and so without it, it just kind of felt like a normal, like, this could have been the main event of SmackDown the night before, and it didn't really, change too much. Drew needed the win, so I'm happy that he won. And he needs a lot more. He deserves a lot more.
He definitely deserves a lot more, for sure.
Yeah. And I liked the finish, I believe, if I remember correctly, because I wrote this note, like, the night of. It was, like, Damien, like, hit his head on a chair or something like that. I don't remember the full finish, but I obviously liked what I saw, whatever it was. Because, again, I wrote this, like, 2 weeks ago.
I thought it was, like, a stare-related
Yeah, it was
thing.
something. I wrote this, like, 2 weeks ago, so I don't fully remember what the finish was, but I do know that I did like it.
Yeah, I think having this was definitely like the Extreme Rules match of the show. I think having these two do that match, I think sets it up to be pretty good. Again, they definitely needed far more like big moments with an Extreme Rules match, especially at WrestleMania. But I feel like picking these two to have that match was definitely a good idea. I love Drew McIntyre always. Having him win again was a very good decision. He definitely needs more. He needs an actual like legitimate world title run at some point. Triple H, you gotta get on that. But yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Dom versus Finn versus Braun Breaker. My notes were this was a very fun match. I wanted Penta to win, but I'm very, very glad that Dom won. Penta's gear was really, really cool. Dom is over as fuck, obviously to the point where he literally left, and I guess Triple H told him to go back into the ring because they were cheering so loudly.
Yeah.
My boy Finn needs something, for the love of God.
He needs something, bro.
I love that, man.
Can we talk about what the fuck are these masks he keeps bringing out every WrestleMania with nothing on it? It's
Yeah, I don't know.
so bad.
He's wearing a bag over his head. Yeah, I need him to get something. Hopefully,
He needs
when
something, man.
When he gets kicked out of the Judgment Day, that'll be the start of him getting something. Sorry, I gotta take a sip of water.
No, you're good. Dominic Mysterio absolutely deserved to win this match. I'm very, very happy for him. He's been whining and grinding for years now. So for him to finally get like a legitimate title run with the Intercontinental Championship, I think is very well deserved. Great showing from all these guys. Again, Finn Balor needs something.
Yes.
He's definitely just at the lowest of his low at this point.
I have
Penta's gear is fire. Penta's wrestling is fire.
My last note was the spear spot was absolutely insane. That was probably the highlight of the match for me.
Oh
with,
my god,
Carlito.
Braun Breaker is the king of spears. I don't even fucking care anymore. He's so fucking goated. I'm so excited. I've been on the Braun Breaker train ever since he's been in NXT, and I've been very well rewarded for staying on that train up to this point, and I'm very excited to see where he goes with this whole Seth Rollins storyline with Paul Heyman. I think he is definitely being set up as the future of this company for sure, and I'm very excited to see where all four of these guys go, honestly, because they had an incredible showing, and I think they're going to continue to give us more incredible showings in the future.
Yeah, it was definitely a good match. Randy Orton versus mystery opponent, which then turned out to be Joe Hendry. My notes were awesome moment. Crowd went crazy. Felt very surprising because for me personally, I didn't see his name floating around too much. I definitely did see his name, but I think it was just more the fact that he's not a WWE superstar. So people I don't think people took it too seriously that a TNA guy was going to be on a WrestleMania. Definitely saw a lot of Rusev, a lot of Aleister Black, things like that. So yeah, I think it was more surprising for me because I didn't see his name pop up as much. The finish was awesome with the RKO. I thought that was great. And my last note was I'm pretty sure that Joe Hendry may be the first non-WWE superstar to be on a WrestleMania. I don't know that. That's just an assumption. So someone would need to fact check it. But I'm not sure I've ever seen someone that at least works for a different company.
He's definitely the first TNA guy to show up at a WrestleMania. That's for sure.
So that was really cool. Overall, it was definitely a fun moment for sure. And the ending too was great with Randy doing the turn into the pose. Yeah, it was awesome.
That shit was so awesome, man. I think this was definitely a great opponent for Randy to have, and even more so a great opponent for Joe Hendry to have. I think they both complemented each other very well in this match. Obviously, Joe Hendry showing up was probably one of the biggest moments of this WrestleMania. Biggest pop for me, I'd say. I fucking flipped out when Joe Hendry showed up because, again, it was one of those things where it's like his name wasn't floating around a lot. It wasn't really expected for him, of all people, to be the opponent. But I was very happy with it. It was a very fun match from end to end. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. My notes were this match was just okay. Unfortunately. Both of their gears were great, though. Logan Paul with like the kind of mixed color gear, and AJ with like the black and white gear. I thought both gears were really, really cool. But I am officially tired of Logan Paul. I'm tired of seeing him. And yeah, I felt like this match was kind of meh. It wasn't that great. Biggest moment of the match was not even including either of these guys. It was when Karrion Kross showed up. He definitely got the biggest reaction out of the whole match. Yeah, AJ is my GOAT. I'll defend that man till the day I die. But the thought that I've seen where his WrestleMania resume is kind of shit is kind of there. I don't know. He just hasn't, like, the match with him and Shane was good at 33. Other than that, it feels like he's just had a bunch of we have to throw AJ on the card matches. And it kind of
with Undertaker was good too.
Oh, of course, yeah, that was great, but that was kind of a different situation. If we're talking about like full on WrestleMania matches, it felt like a lot of just we got to throw AJ on the card, so he kind of gets like the match that probably could have just been on Raw, you know?
It felt like a goddamn like almost like a fortune teller of evil. Because I knew going into it that Logan Paul was going to win. I didn't want Logan Paul to win. I
Right.
wanted more than anything to AJ Styles to lose. I wanted to lose in this scenario and just have AJ Styles win. But for some reason, I was just like, I don't see Logan Paul losing it, and that sucks for
Right.
everybody. I have written down that it was an okay match, but I also have written down that the best thing to come out of this match was Karrion Kross's crashing out on
Yeah.
that fucking radio show after.
Yeah. Mhm.
That was the best thing to come out of this whole fucking match, was just that one
Yeah.
little crash out that he had.
Yeah. The women's tag title match, Liv and Raquel versus Becky and Lyra. Liv definitely deserved way more this year. She single-handedly basically carried the Raw women's division, at least for the past year. So she deserved way more than just kind of this random match. Very predictable surprise. Obviously, there was a surprise partner, and it turned out to be Becky Lynch. It was very predictable. They didn't really try and hide it. Becky was seen. Becky was at Hall of Fame. She was. They showed like her reaction when Seth won on night one, so they didn't try and hide her at all. So it was very predictable that she was going to be the partner. To me, it didn't feel like the title change was needed, and I definitely am further cemented in that with the fact that Liv and Raquel got the belts back the next night. Lyra's entrance, though, that was fire with the wings and stuff. That was really cool. But, yeah, this match was just kind of whatever. I don't think a lot of people try and say, like, Becky Hogan, that Becky, like, is a politic or something. And I'm sure, to an extent, she is. But it seems like... Hold on. Let me blow my nose. Seems like she is more giving than, like, a Charlotte Flair. Sorry, headphone users. Yeah, it seems like she's definitely more giving than like a Charlotte Flair or something like that. And people have said it when she had that NXT title. A lot of women's talent came out and said that she was actively trying to get a match with them on a Raw or on NXT and things like that. So I don't think this was like a Becky call. We're still sick over here.
We're still sick, people. Bear with us.
So yeah, I don't think this was like a Becky call. I think this was like a Triple H call. But this was not the right call. Bayley got totally fucked here, man. I love Bayley, and she deserved way more. Obviously, Triple H has some sort of plan for her, but the fact that she, again, has been consistent forever, but definitely the past year on SmackDown, and she wasn't even on the WrestleMania card at all, was pretty fucked up. Just for a pop, but a pop that everybody saw coming from a mile away. So yeah, I do like, however, on Raw, I do like that Becky turned heel. I kind of figured that was going to happen. But yeah, it just felt, I don't know. Bayley deserved way more. Bayley got the shit end of the stick here. The fact that she didn't even like, they didn't even try and write it off as like, oh, she's injured, she can't compete, but she's still going to be out. Like, she didn't even get to walk out on stage, bro. Like, she should have at least, like...
Her WrestleMania moment was lying on the ground,
Right.
writhing in pain.
Right. Like, she should have at least been able to manage them and be out there,
Right.
and then later you find out that Becky was the one that attacked her and stuff like that. But for that moment, she should have been able to at least make the walk on the ramp and be out there. So, that pissed me off.
Yeah, that was my first note that I wrote down. Was just, I feel more than anything just bad for Bayley that this is just the kind of shit hand that she was dealt after the year of work that she has put in.
Right.
The Becky Lynch return, I think, may honestly go down in history as, to me, one of the most boring returns of all time. I did not care whatsoever that Becky Lynch came back. And I was just like, it's a whatever sort of scenario. At that point, I knew that she and Lyra were going to win the titles, which, again, is just more so I feel bad for Liv more than anything. That she worked this hard and then had to go and lose to something like this.
Right.
Heel Becky coming back, I'm a bit excited for it. I like that. But I don't really care for how they're setting up this storyline of Becky's gonna be a heel because she attacked fucking Bayley when we just had this whole entire situation happen with Bianca and Jade and Naomi 2 months ago. Like, it's like, we just did this. Why are we doing this again?
I would also like to add, I know we're not Nia Jax fans. I know we don't really care for Nia Jax. However, I will say, when we look at the list of talent that should have been on WrestleMania, Nia Jax should have been on WrestleMania somewhere. And I feel like they could have added her and Candice into this match, and I think it would have made a bigger moment when Becky and Lyra win, because not only did Lyra have to find a partner last minute, but they were able to not only beat one team, but beat 2 teams. And again, Nia, we don't really like her, but we can't deny that she has been an integral part of SmackDown the past year, and deserved a spot on WrestleMania. And so I think her and Candice should have also been in this match.
It's another Solo Sikoa situation where they've been working very hard this whole past year and they got squat.
Right, for sure.
I also want to say, I've seen a few of these posts. I don't know if I'm now in some sort of weird, small little circle here on TikTok, but Raquel Rodriguez looked fine as fuck on WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of people want to hype Liv up and stuff like that, but I got to be honest. I was looking at Raquel and I was like, I get it. I can see the appeal for that.
I don't disagree with you. I think I was paying more attention to Liv myself, but Raquel is also a very beautiful woman. She has a very beautiful just face. Like, her face is just a really beautiful face.
Very much.
For sure. So, yeah. All right, main event time. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. This is a very decisive kind of main event here. So I will start off by saying that I more than anybody, am very happy that John Cena won the 17th championship. Not only because I wanted him to, but also it helped me make sure that I kept that title back there. So it was a big help. However, the match was not great.
It was not great at all.
It definitely felt like Cody was trying to slow down for John, and it felt like John is definitely slowed down because he just is slowed down.
He's just that old.
He's just kind of older. Travis Scott, this is adds into what I said earlier. I am tired of celebrities. Travis Scott showing up, and not only showing up, but what really annoyed me was like the aura farming that he did, where he like gave himself a Roman Reigns entrance, but it was in the middle of a fucking match.
Long entrance, bro.
And it was in the middle of the fucking match. Like, normally someone does a run-in because they need to quickly help their person not lose. This happened when John Cena, I'm pretty sure, was up. Like, John Cena had just pinned Cody and Cody kicked out or some shit. So John Cena wasn't even in trouble. And then he came out and, gave himself like an Undertaker entrance, which I saw Steven Larson, or I think it was more just Steve on his own thing talking about it. And he said, I'm pretty sure that wasn't even his choice. WWE was the ones that told him to do that because they want those social media clips. They want it going viral that Travis Scott is at WrestleMania and he's walking to the ring. So that made sense that it probably was more on production rather than Travis Scott just like going into business for himself. But goddamn, it sucked, bro. It was horrible. Rock did not show up at all. Rock is fucking everything up, bro. I will crash out over this. The Rock is fucking so much shit up, and I'm not sure he realizes.
His absence here kills the whole fucking storyline.
Yes. And then he, not only did he not show up, but then he went on Pat McAfee's show, again, exposed the business, was like, oh yeah, me and Cody had a great time after Elimination Chamber, and shit like that. But then also goes, yeah, and I pulled Cody and John aside and I said, my work here is done. Motherfucker, you just started something. Like, I don't understand. You literally just started a story.
This man pulled out pen and paper, wrote and then he was like,
right,
I did it.
Now, I understand, like, he was not originally booked for Elimination Chamber. He said that Ari Emanuel, who's like the owner of TKO, called him because the tickets weren't moving or something like that, which is also weird because I feel like every WWE show has been pretty much sold out. So it is kind of weird if the tickets were dying, but that happens sometimes. So he was not originally booked for Elimination Chamber, and he just kind of showed up and whatnot to try and move tickets for Elimination Chamber. So I get that. However, don't start some shit then, bro. Like, if you're gonna just, okay, hey, we need to move some tickets, then just show up and be The Rock. Just show up at the beginning of the show before anything starts. Just show up, come out, do what you fucking did on the Netflix premiere, and just cut a 2-minute promo saying, I'm so glad everybody's here, it's going to be a great night, and then fucking walk to the back. But if you're going to show up because, oh, ticket sales are done, and then you're going to create this incredible storyline, this incredible heel turn. This is the biggest heel turn since fucking Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. This is the biggest heel turn. And you're going to be a part of it, and then you're going to be like, all right, guys, good job. I'll see you when I see you. Like, oh my God, it fucking frustrates me, dude, because this could have been so good. This could have been so incredible, and it started that way. Elimination Chamber, that story was incredible. Even if it came together last fucking minute, it was a great story. And then for Rock to just not show up completely killed the story.
Yeah.
I hate it. You would think for somebody who is an actor, he's a producer of movies, someone that his job is to tell stories, you would think he would fucking understand that you don't leave in the fucking beginning of telling the story. But, whatever. I guess he's got, Moana 25 that he has to do voice lines for, so he can't show up.
So much more important than, than WrestleMania.
It just, I don't know, man. It just pisses me off.
The only thing I could really give this match, like, any sort of credit for, is how heel Cena worked in the ring, because I could instantly tell, like, he is older, but I can instantly tell that heel Cena operates a lot different in terms of his wrestling style and what he does in the ring. And I was very entertained by that the entire time. That's probably the only, like, credible thing that I could really, like, give this match that I was, like, pleasantly surprised or entertained by.
Let me go back to crashing out about The Rock real quick, because
You got it.
when he's on the Pat McAfee show, and they were talking about it or whatever, and Rock said, oh, I really enjoyed the match. I was sitting here on my couch watching it. You're a fucking executive for this. You're on the board. Why would you not? I understand. Listen, I understand the guy is busy, and I understand he has a family, and he probably wants to be there for his daughters and stuff. But you are an executive. You are a part of this company. Why would you not just be at WrestleMania anyways to represent the company? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't understand. If you're that integral to this company and you're on the board and you want to make decisions and you want to do this, why you were watching the biggest show of your company this calendar year, you were sitting at home in your underwear chilling on the couch watching it. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't want to see The Rock again.
I
honestly don't. After this, I'm like, why even show up at this point anymore, man? Like, you can show up to, like, get a cheap pop or, like, announce attendance or some shit like that, but I don't want to see you touching another storyline ever again.
100%.
It's so infuriating.
If he shows up again, it needs to be just to hype up the crowd, put over the attendance, whatever the fuck. If The Rock shows up again to get involved in a storyline, and I'll say this, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he shows up to get involved in a storyline that does not involve fucking Roman Reigns, I'm fucking done. Because that has been the only match that people have wanted to see this man have for the past, like, 10 years. And not only have we not done it, but somehow we've managed to make that the match that no one even cares to see anymore. And somehow The Rock versus, for all intents and purposes, to his family and to him, random guy Cody Rhodes is the biggest match, the dream match that we're supposed to be building up here. I don't get it. Like, Cody Rhodes has no connection to The Rock other than their storyline that has now fizzled out, and The Rock is completely exposed by every time he has beat the shit out of Cody, gone, and then we killed a bottle of tequila afterwards and had some cigars. Like, there is no match there. There is no correlation there. There's no emotion there. There's no drama there. There's nothing there. The only thing that's there for The Rock is Roman Reigns. So if he shows up again and it's anything more than just shaking hands and kissing babies, and it's not something to do with Roman Reigns, I'm flying to TKO's fucking headquarters when I know that he has to be there, and I'm slapping him on his bald ass head. I will probably die. This will be a,
that'll be the death of you.
this will be a gorilla versus 100-man thing. It's just me versus one man who will definitely kill me. But
Who has the strength of a gorilla?
right, but it'll be well warranted at that point for me to slap him on his bald ass head. I will oil it up first so it's nice and shiny, and then I'll slap it so that the oil kind of splatters everywhere. It'll be a great visual.
That's a ridiculous image to have in my head.
My last note, though, for this main event is that Cody should disappear for a while, which I believe is kind of happening. He wasn't on Raw.
Yeah.
He wasn't on SmackDown, right? Was he? No. Right. So he should disappear. From my fantasy booking, from my mindset, let this man disappear up until August, and then we build to him and Cena in the main event of SummerSlam. That's where Cody can get the belt back, and then you have from then to December to kind of turn John Cena face again and let him kind of just go on like a nostalgia tour as normal John Cena and let him go against opponents he hadn't faced yet or has never faced, like a Carmelo Hayes or something like that, and ride off into the sunset. So I would let Cody enjoy his time. Again, I said it to you. He's been busting his ass for like 3 years straight.
He deserves a few months off.
He's been on every live event, Raw, SmackDown, even a couple NXTs. He's done every
morning shows.
Right, morning shows, late night shows like Jimmy Kimmel and shit. He has done everything. So it's definitely time for him to kind of spend some time with his family. I know I saw someone post something. I think he was at Disney World with the family like a week or two ago. Things like that. Nice. Let him spend a couple months with his family. Let him rest his body up, because that is a big thing. That that travel as well. It's not just being on those talk shows. It's the travel, being on a plane, being in a car for hours, things like that. That's where the real wear and tear on the body is. From what people have said, is like you can wrestle, and sure, obviously you have wear and tear on your body from wrestling, but what really kills you is the WB schedule, where you have to drive 5 hours to the next town at 2 a.m. And then after the show, you have to get on a plane, and you're going to England, and then you're in England for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's what kills you. And he's done it all. So I'd imagine his body is definitely telling him, lay in the bed, bro. Lay in the bed for a little bit. So, yeah, I would let him spend some time with the family, let him heal up, let him enjoy life a little bit. And in August is when I would have him come back, build up the match with Cena. Because then we also have, we already have it announced that Cena and Orton in a couple weeks at Backlash. Money in the Bank in June is in California. Similar to when Money in the Bank was in California and they did John Cena versus CM Punk. I would like to see them run that back, because that
would be incredible.
It's not even like, that's not something you have to try and do. It's just like that. It writes itself. The story writes itself there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get that. And then July, him versus Sami Zayn, or I don't know, him versus somebody else. And then August, Cody shows back up. Maybe he's got the black hair like he had against Brody Lee or something like that. And that's your SummerSlam main event, I would say.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's it. My extra thoughts here. This was definitely way better than night one, and it was also missing the fun and excitement that I talked about. But Stone Cold showing up was very, very cool. Night one, they had Shawn Michaels show up, which is awesome. It's great. Love Shawn Michaels, but it wasn't really a surprise because we always see Shawn Michaels. He's in charge of NXT, so we constantly see Shawn Michaels on social media. And things like that. He's even, on NXT, not every week, but every once in a while, you'll see Shawn Michaels in a backstage segment or something on NXT. We see him a lot. He's around. So it wasn't a surprise for Shawn Michaels. I even said, like, it would have been more of a surprise, probably a bigger moment, if you had, like, the Bella Twins come out and do the attendance for night one, because of the fact that we saw Nikki, but she's been gone. We haven't seen Brie in years, like since 2022 or something like that. So it probably would have been bigger. But Stone Cold coming out for night two was definitely a surprise. He definitely almost killed somebody when he hit the damn barricade. So that girl, shout out to her, because she's probably got fucking WrestleMania tickets for the rest of her life. I did see, too, when he originally came out, he completely missed the stage. And they had to, like, back the four-wheeler up and get him back on, lined up so he can drive up onto the ramp on the stage.
He was drunk before he even came out.
Something. No, I think those four-wheelers, they're hard to handle, man. They're not, you know what I'm saying? The turning is not super, it's not like a car. So I think that's really what it was that it's probably just a little hard to see her. But yeah, other than that though, it was also still missing like some fun and excitement. But it was definitely better than night one.
Didn't Stephanie McMahon open up for night
She
one?
did. She did.
That was cool. I like seeing
cool.
Stephanie McMahon.
100%. But also, again, not super surprising because I feel like that's like
No,
that's gonna be a
it is pretty
tradition.
regular at this point. Yeah.
Like she did it.
But
I
it's
think
still always-
last year may have been the first year she did it.
Last year was the first year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But I feel like that's gonna be a tradition where Triple H opens night one and Stephanie opens night two for as long as they wanna do it. So
Right.
wasn't too surprising. But it is great seeing Stephanie. She obviously is she's back in some sort of capacity. She has the podcast. She has that show that is out. I believe she has, or they're looking for her to have an actual role within TKO. So like, I'm just happy she's back, and it's not just to make some appearances. It seems like she's going to be an actual employee of the company. So that's really cool. So yeah, that's my thoughts, my review of both nights.
Also, one last thing
Yep.
that I don't think you really mentioned. One of the best WrestleMania stages of all time.
Oh yeah, top 5 for sure. My bad.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that. I said it. I think I sent it to like our group chat with Wyatt or whatever when they announced it Friday morning or whatever when they showed it. I was like, this is top 5 WrestleMania stages. It was beautiful.
Great.
Really nice. But yeah, that's that. You got anything else you want to add for WrestleMania?
I do have like a total score. I did give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, most of that is just night 2.
Yeah. And
But,
the night one main event.
And the night 1 main event and the stage.
Yeah.
That gave it an extra point there. But
Mm.
yeah, it was all right compared to the last few we've had.
Yeah.
Definitely does not compare at all.
Yeah,
It was
WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 were definitely great WrestleManias, and this one kind of fell a little flat compared to those, in my opinion. So,
right.
yeah, that's our reviews. It's a longer episode. We're at like an hour and a half, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did see Thunderbolts. We are literally going to film a bonus episode with our just full review here once we stop recording this. So yeah, other than that, we did go live. I will say that we went live on TikTok for the whole weekend. Didn't get like too much interaction. There was a little bit where we had a few people come in and talk with us for a little bit, but I think our stand and deliver stream got like the most views or whatever. It was like
It was surprisingly the most popular one we had. Yeah.
there was like 600 people, not at once throughout the whole. By the end of it, the total number of people that came through was like 600 something people. But I think we kind of had fun with it, and it wasn't like a hindrance or anything like that. So I think we're gonna probably keep it going for Backlash, and we'll probably do it for each PLE just because it's just something fun to do and wasn't anything that hindered us or anything like that. So yeah, any PLE for Backlash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, whatever. Check out my TikTok, OTS Bridger, if you want to come hang out with us for a little watch along. Yeah, other than that, it was a great weekend, even though WrestleMania kind of fell flat. It was still a fun weekend, even though also I was kind of sick for both nights. I wasn't feeling great. It was still fun hanging out with you, hanging out with Wyatt, having a good time. The first time that Wyatt was with us for WrestleMania, so that was cool. He's a fun addition to the party.
With the Cody Rhodes mask.
Yep. There, it's on. I think it's on one of my TikTok or OTS Project 1 or something.
Yeah, it's on
That where Cody came out. For those that don't know, Cody came out and he had a new mask, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of digging it. And our friend Wyatt was like, it kind of fucking sucks. And like as soon as he says that, it does like the Iron Man opening, and he just jumped out of his seat and freaked the fuck out, and was like, I take back everything I said. So that was a fun moment. But yeah, so that's kind of end of the episode. We appreciate you watching. Check us out on socials. As I'm editing this, actually, I had Jesse add to the frame that you guys are obviously seeing, and Theo knows about the frame that we have. He added our social media to it. So
down there.
So it should say OTS Bridger and OTS Bebop. I'm OTS Bridger on everything. X, Instagram, TikTok, everything. And Theo is OTS Bebop on X and only X. So yeah, check us out there if you want some more content or to stay up to date with the podcast. And with that said, we appreciate you, and we will see you in the next episode.